Hey babes, it's me, Courtney, and you're tuned in to Stay Golden, Golden Grades, the special compilation series. I wanted to highlight what I considered to be like the top moments of the second series of the Golden Grades chunks, which is grades 13 through 20. Sometimes there's like a really meaningful, important, interesting scene that maybe gets overlooked because like we're laughing so hard.
Well, fine. Shall I disrobe right here, or do you have some kind of examining room?
You know, I meant your medical form, the one you filled out in the waiting room.
Sorry.
Oh, you are proposing some very extensive surgery here. Eyes, nose, stomach.
And breasts. I cut this out of a magazine. What do you think of those?
Very nice. The angle's a little steep for my personal taste, but they certainly do make a statement.
Yes, they do. They say big. That's exactly what I want.
It just so happens that breasts are my specialty.
You have that in common with a linebacker I know on the Miami Dolphins.
As a matter of fact, I have worked on quite a few celebrities.
Well, tell me, just what celebrities have you done?
Well, now, I can't tell you that. That would be unethical. Let's just say that some of my handiwork is prominently featured on NBC's Thursday night lineup. Mrs. Devereaux.
Call me Blanche. We're talking about tightening my behind and pumping up my bosoms. I think we can be on a first-name basis.
All right, Blanche. But I think there's some things that you don't understand. There are a lot of good reasons for having this kind of work done, but there are also a lot of bad ones. Plastic surgery will only improve your general appearance. It won't make you perfect. And as with any surgery, there are risks involved. There are absolutely no guarantees, no miracles.
Dr. Taylor, you are not going to dissuade me from having this surgery. You see, all my life, my physical beauty has served as a source of inspiration to me and to countless others. But now that beauty seems to be fading, and I'm scared. I've never had to do without it, and I don't know if I can. I don't mind growing older, just as long as I always look the same. So there's no doubt about it. I don't care what the risks are. I definitely intend to have this surgery. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, is today Mother's Day?
Why, yes, ma'am. Don't you remember? I called you and told you I'd be here.
Of course. Of course, Virginia.
No, darling, Virginia couldn't come. I'm Blanche. Here, look. Brought you a little present.
Lace handkerchiefs. My.
Well, you know, you always used to say that there were two things a lady could never have enough of. Lace handkerchiefs and gentleman collars. Maybe next Mother's Day I'll bring you a gentleman collar. You want to go in the dining room, have some tea?
Not right now, darling.
Mama, do you remember that Mother's Day that I almost ruined when I ran off to get married?
No.
Sure you do, honey. Don't you know I was a senior in high school? And I was madly in love with Deck Bovinglow. We'd been dating for nearly a month, so it seemed perfectly logical when he dropped by cheerleading practice and asked me to marry him. Oh, I thought he was a wonderful catch at the time. He was 40, out of work, twice divorced, had 3 kids. But the real reason I wanted to marry him was because his oldest daughter was a rival of mine at cheerleading. And I figured if I married Deck, I'd be her mama. I could kick her off the squad. Anyway, I remember the next day I was in the rec hall when Deck came in, looking more handsome than I've ever seen him. Oh, black motorcycle boots, skin-tight Levi's, a match in his mouth, and a white T-shirt with the sleeves rolled up to reveal his brand new Woody the Woodpecker tattoo. God, I was an idiot. Anyway, he sauntered over to me at the soda fountain and gave me this long, smoldering look and said, "So, Oh, nearly fainted dead away on the spot. The next thing I knew, I was sitting next to him in that souped-up old Studebaker, racing out toward bio country, where Deck knew this justice of the peace who specialized in marrying stupid teenage girls from well-to-do families. Now, lucky for me, old man Montgomery had been in the Rexall that day and overheard us making our plans and tipped off you and Daddy. You know, to this day, I don't know how you all got there ahead of us. But when we pulled up to Bubba's Chapel of Bliss and Tackle Shop, there you were. Well, I was ready for the fight of my life, but all you said was, "Why, darling, I just came out here to give you away with my blessing. Why, I think marrying Deck might be the best thing in the world for you, Blanche." Well, at 17, I wasn't about to do anything you wanted me to do. And you knew that. I gave Deck back his ID bracelet that had Deck on one side and allergic to the law on the other. Hopped in the car with you and Daddy, and we took off home. I asked you if you were mad at me. You said, "Why, no, darling. This is the best Mother's Day I've ever had."
Dorothy, she'll be fine. I'm sure it isn't a heart attack. A heart attack's bigger. I've seen a heart attack. Charlie had a heart attack.
And it wasn't like this?
Oh, it was much worse.
If only the paramedics would get here.
Charlie made me dress him when he had his heart attack before the paramedics got there.
But he wasn't dressed?
We were making love.
Oh, Rose, honey, you never told me. He died while you were making love?
Well, he didn't die then. He had his heart attack then. And he told me to dress him.
And?
And I dressed him. And then we had a fight. I grabbed a pair of white pants, and I was putting them on him, and Charlie said it was after Labor Day, and he couldn't wear white.
In the middle of a heart attack?
Oh, Charlie was very stubborn and very dapper.
And then what happened?
And he told me he loved me, and then it was over. And I put a pair of gray flannel pants on him, and a blue shirt, and a striped tie. And he was all dressed when the paramedics got there.
Hi, is Blanche ready?
Not quite yet. Would you, like to sit down?
No, I'm in a hurry.
Nah, she'll only be a few minutes.
Oh, great. Now we're gonna run into traffic. I hate it when she does this.
You evidently hate it when she does a lot of things.
What?
Nothing? I'm staying out of it.
Good. Do you want to go light a fire under her?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
Because I think she's getting burned enough as it is.
Look, would you just go tell Blanche to hurry up? I've got to teach this woman what being on time means.
Wait a minute. I don't want you teaching her anything.
You know, you're starting to get on my nerves.
Good, because you're already on mine. I don't like the way you're treating Blanche. Under all that makeup and sexy talk, there's a little girl there, and for some reason or other, she's letting you take advantage of her. I can't stop her from seeing you, but I'll be damned if I'm going to hurry her up.
Who do you think you are?
A friend.
This is none of your business. Just butt out.
You're hurting me.
Stop that!
Are you ready?
I think you better go.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. Really, I'm sorry. Look, sweetie, you know I don't mean these things I say.
Just leave.
If I walk out that door, I'm not coming back here again.
That's a promise I'm gonna see that you keep.
Yesterday, Kate came to me crying. She was more hurt than I had ever seen her before.
Oh, Dorothy,
Please, I want you to understand what that does to a parent. Seeing your child hurt is worse than any pain you can possibly feel yourself. When they're little, you protect them from the bullies on the playground, and then later you suffer with them through acne and puppy love.
And the first date and the first time alone in a car. Finally, they meet someone who will love them and take care of them, and they don't need you anymore. You're not too thrilled about that, but you get used to it.
And then something happens and you find out that there's still bullies on the playground. And all the old instincts come back. And that's what happened to me yesterday. I know you and Kate have made up, but I still have the same feelings. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. I did a very stupid thing, and it can't be undone. But I'm going to do everything I can to make it up to Kate. I love her. And I promise you that nothing like this will ever happen again.
Good. Good. Because if it does, I will break every bone in your hand. You'll spend the rest of your life selling newspapers out of a wagon.
Keep it zipped, buddy. She's not kidding.
If she dies, I'll be an orphan. Can you believe it? I'm over 50 years old and I'll still feel like an orphan.
I know.
Oh, doesn't matter. You lose a parent, you might as well be 6. It's scary. And it pushes you right up to the head of the line.
I know.
Oh, God, I don't know what I'll do. I love that lady so much. She's my family.
We're your family too, Dorothy. And you remember that. We might not be blood, but we're here.
Oh, God, I miss her already.
I had no idea what it was, but I knew one thing for certain. It was never going to happen to me. Now here I am. I'm Aunt Lynette.
No, you're not. You're Blanche. And all that's happening is a biological process which means one thing and one thing only. You can no longer have children.
Oh, it means more than that. Much more. God, I can't even believe I'm really here. You know, I mean, at this point in my life, I can't believe we're having this conversation about me.
It's hard for you to accept.
You know, nobody in my family's ever seen a psychiatrist. Except, of course, when they were institutionalized. It's just so awful. But you're a man, you wouldn't understand.
What wouldn't I understand?
Well, you don't get old and lose your appeal the way women do. Look at Mr. Cary Grant. Now, he can have any woman he wants, and he's in his 80s. You just show me a woman in her 50s who can do that, and don't tell me Joan Collins. That woman belongs in a wax museum.
All right, it is not just menopause, it's what it represents to you, growing older.
Yes.
And growing older represents a loss of attractiveness.
Yes.
Is that all there is to you, sex appeal?
Yes.
Men only value that in you?
Well, they used to. Now my only hope is to become an intellectual and find a retired Jew.
Blanche, you have to change your thinking. You have to find all the other things you are, all the other ways you please people. There's a lot more to you than you know.
You know, sometimes I look in the mirror and I see my mother's face looking back at me. Not all the time, just every now and then when the light's too bright or it's too early in the morning or late at night or I look real fast. There it is, my mother's face. Scares me to death. It just scares me to death. I just get so depressed I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. I don't want to get out of bed ever again.
Things aren't working out anymore, and I don't know what to do to make them any better. You can't leave your wife, and I'm not cut out to be the other woman.
Dorothy, you know I love you.
I know that, but it's not enough.
I don't want to lose you.
I don't want to lose you either. That's why I came back.
I thought you understood. I can't break up my marriage. Not now. Not at this stage of my life. If things didn't work out between you and me, I'd be alone. That kind of risk is fine when you're 40. But I couldn't do it today. I'm too old for that, Dorothy.
Glen, the risks shouldn't scare you at any age. And at any age, the loving would make it worthwhile. You want a safe, easy, comfortable home life and romance and excitement on the side, and it's not for me.
Dorothy, please think about what you're throwing away.
If I stay, I am throwing away my future.
I just wish there was something more we could do for these people.
Especially the children.
Yes, I know. I'm supposed to look after their spiritual needs, but even I can't help thinking they have other needs that are far more pressing. Well, I'd like to thank you all very much for coming. I wish you every blessing for the new year.
Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho! Here's Santa with toys for all the good boys and girls. Ho, ho, ho! Have you all been good boys and girls?
Yeah!
Ah!
Your mother was just having fun.
Yeah, well, all this fun is killing her. Just wish she'd moved in with me when I asked her to.
Kirsten, you're just upset. We all are. But you have to know, these two women love her like a sister. And I love your mother like she was my own.
Yeah, well, you're forgetting one thing, though. I'm her daughter. You're not her family.
Why does everybody keep saying that? We share our lives together.
You share a house together.
Kirsten Adams?
Yes?
I'm Dr. Shrewsbury.
How's my mother? Is she going to be okay?
Your mother has to have a triple bypass.
When can we see her, Doctor?
Are you related to the patient?
No, they're not.
Well, I'm sorry. Only relatives can see the patient. This is a very serious operation, but we are going to do the best that we can.
Can I see my mother first?
Of course.
Oh, my God. Rose is gonna have triple bypass, but she needs us.
She's going into surgery soon. We just sedated her, and in a few seconds she may not be coherent, so please keep it brief.
Mom? Mom, it's me.
Oh, Kirsten, I'm so glad you came.
Oh, don't worry, Mom. Everything's gonna be okay.
Kirsten, where are the girls?
Oh, they're too young to come to the hospital.
Not your girls. My girls. My girls aren't too young for anything.
They're waiting outside. Why don't you just relax? We don't have to talk.
Oh, no. I'm fine. Listen, I want you to do me a favor.
Anything.
If something happens, I want you to look after Dorothy and Blanche and Sophia for me.
Well, you must have the wrong Al. You've been sleeping with someone else's Al. My Al is as healthy as a horse. It can't be him. Al Beatty from Boca Raton?
Yes.
You're telling me Al is dead?
Yes.
A heart attack is crazy. He was a runner. He couldn't have a heart attack. I'm talking, so it can't be true. You know what I mean? If I keep talking, it isn't true. All I have to do is talk forever. Oh, God. Al. I'm all right. I'm okay. Al, the big jerk. I loved him.
Mr. Lewis, you can speak. How come you haven't spoken before?
No one was listening. Not until you got here.
I've been here. Could have spoken to me.
Well, like you.
Don't you see, Mr. Porter, you're not listening to these people. I mean, you're only as old as you feel, and you're making them feel old. And Pussycat, you make me feel old, too. You make me feel like I can't make my own choices.
Ma, I worry about you. And everything I did here, well, Ma, it's because I'm afraid of losing you.
I understand that, but Pussycat, give me air. I know you love me, but maybe we can make decisions about me together.
Yes, Ma, we will.